It is another beautiful day in Minnesota's capital city, St. Paul, as we have USA Gymnastics on Universal Sports, and it is the feel-good show in the gymnastics world. It's around the gym, and we are here at the 2011 Visa National Gymnastics Championships. Welcome, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger, joined by none other than Olympic champion Nastia Liukin. Nastia, we saw an outstanding day one men's competition. Exciting. I was so thankful that I'm not doing this sport anymore. It was like a circus out there. But a lot of great gymnastics. What can we expect coming in tonight, too?
You know, I think it's going to be another great night of gymnastics, obviously. And there was a surprise leader, so I think it's going to be a really interesting and tight competition. Danelle is obviously ahead by quite a big margin of 3 points ahead of John Horton. But, you know, John is not the kind of gymnast to give up. He will definitely fight through all the way to the end.
And John Horton is trying to do something that no one's done since the great Paul Hamm won 3 national titles. He's going for his 3rd in a row tonight. And as you said, Danelle Leyva is taking a commanding lead on day one. And he really wowed the crowd. I mean, he did one of the most impressive high bar routines I've ever seen. And he's going to be tough to take down. He's probably going to have to make some mistakes, I think, if John Horton's going to catch him. But it's going to be exciting nonetheless. And speaking of Olympic champions and 3-time national champions, we are very honored to have the greatest American gymnast in history for the men, Paul Hamm, joining us. And as we look at these pictures, it is hard to believe that it's been 7 years ago that this took place. It seems like yesterday. One of the most exciting gymnastic competitions, period, that I think most of us have ever seen. And here he is live and in person. Paul, what's going on?
Here at the U.S. Championships, I'm coaching, and also I'm trying to be getting back in shape for a competition in the near future, hopefully.
So how's that going? First, you obviously went on to win the all-around gold, and then you decided to take a little bit of a break from gymnastics. You went into the real life. Did you not like that so much? Decided to get back into the gym, or what?
Oh, well, I didn't like the way my career ended. That's what really disappointed me. Before the 2008 Olympics, I was on top of my game. I was going to try to defend that title once again. And I ended up breaking my hand at the U.S. Championships, which was the qualifying competition for the Olympic Games. So that was very disappointing, and yes, I took some time off, but I just wanted to give it one last shot and see what I could do.
Now wait a minute, how your career ended, because it's kind of ended a couple times here. I mean, let's be honest, 2004 you won the Olympic gold medal.
We'll call it a hiatus.
The first one was a hiatus, it wasn't a retirement, and then it come back.
Yep.
Well, how is the shoulder? Is it progressing the way you want it to?
Yeah, I had shoulder surgery about 7 months ago, so that was a tough situation. My comeback plan did not involve surgery. So right now I'm just trying to get back in shape. I'm pretty far along, I'd say about 80% recovery. Certain events are a lot further along than others, like pommel horse and floor. I'd probably say I'm 75% back on parallel bars and high bar, and really just getting started on rings and vault.
So is that kind of what you're gearing up? You're planning on doing all 6 events?
My goal is to compete in the all-around in the future. Now, I don't know exactly how my recovery is going to go, whether or not certain events are going to be difficult or maybe not even possible in the future. At this point, I anticipate being able to do everything, but rings might give me some trouble. So we'll see in the coming months how my recovery goes, and I'll decide then.
You got a couple hats on. Obviously, you're still a competitive gymnast, but you're also wearing the coaching hat.
Yep.
As you sit here, put your coach hat on for a second, check out the floor, the guys that are competing for the United States. What do you think about tonight's competition, but also the team going forward to the World Championships?
I'm actually really surprised and excited. I see guys out there that are doing great gymnastics, and I think that with the way the Olympic team is going to be selected, and also the fact that we have a 5-man team, I think it's going to benefit the United States, because we have guys out here that are great all-around gymnasts. And if I get back in the mix and hopefully I'm on top of my game, I think we could have a team that could possibly challenge for the gold medal. So it's really exciting for me, especially coming back, to see this and be here once again and know that there's that much talent, and go USA.
So do you feel like the talent, I guess the depth in the pool this go-around compared to, say, Athens and Beijing is greater than it was before?
Well, we had strong teams in Athens. We had a shot at winning a gold. And then going into Beijing, the guys got the bronze there. So we've had strong teams in the past 2 Olympic cycles, and going into this Olympic cycle, it feels the same. I feel that the team is a medal contender, and if you put the right guys out there and they're healthy, you never know. anything can happen.
So around the gym, we like to put people on the spot. We like to get you a little uncomfortable, have to make a decision.
Sure.
Leva or Horton?
I think tonight might be Leva's night. He's got a good lead, and he looks really solid. You can't take anything away from John because he's a tremendous competitor. And like any competition, like the 04 games, you don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see. It'll be a good battle between those two. They're two of the top all-arounders in the world, I'd say, right now.
I just want to throw this out there. I'm just going to see if this sticks for a second. Just wad it up and throw it on the wall and see if it stays. Next year, let's assume that you're healthy. Leva, Horton, and Hamm battle for the all-around gold medal. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, could it happen? I mean, what about that scenario?
That's a possibility. I'm not sure what the rules are as far as allowing guys, how many guys we can send to an all-around final at the Olympics, but there is one gymnast from Japan that's going to be tough for anybody to beat.
All right, and a little bit of outside the gym. Now you said you're coaching here. How is it different? Because I remember I tried to start college and just trying to balance the aspect of studying and training. But now not only are you trying to train, but you also have the pressure of trying to coach a team onto an NCAA title.
Sure. My schedule's busy. I train in the morning with I'd say it's like an elite group of guys that are trying to make an Olympic team. And then in the afternoon, the Ohio State team comes in to practice. After that, I'll go back and do another maybe hour and a half of strength and conditioning and the various other things that I need to do. The best way I can describe it is yes, I have a lot of responsibilities, and it feels like the time period in my life where I used to go to school and do gymnastics twice a day. And you're busy all day long, but at the same time, sometimes when you're really busy, you get more done, and you're even more successful. So it's a strange situation. Sometimes having a lot on your plate isn't a bad thing.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you coming to join us. Good luck. I'm a huge fan of gymnastics now, and I can't wait to see you back there out on the floor. So good luck with the comeback, and we have a lot more from around the gym coming. In fact, when we come back, we are going to see if Nastia can tumble in these high heels that she has on. So don't go anywhere, everybody.
Welcome back to Around the Gym on Universal Sports. And here now we have our 2007 Visa Championships all-around champion, David Durrani. Welcome.
How you guys doing? Good to be here.
Good to have you here. What have you been up to, I think, is what everybody would like to know.
Everyone's that interesed in what I'm doing these days?
They will be after you tell us, because I know you've been up to some interesting stuff.
I'm actually living in Venice, Italy. I lived in Rome, Italy all last year, and then I got asked to be part of a project for a contemporary art festival that's being held in Venice, Italy. And I'm representing the United States once again, wearing a gymnastics uniform with USA, and I'm performing part of a U.S. exhibit in Venice.
Nice. And just so everybody knows, it's not Christmas time in the city. That's not snow. It's chalk. That's how close we are to the podium.
The usual for a gymnastics meet.
A little unusual to be sitting on the sidelines watching. I know it's been a few years, but how does it feel to be looking on, knowing, this was the year that you won relative to the Olympics. You won in 2007. Here we are a year away. What's your thoughts?
I can't believe it's already been 3 years gone by.
That's exactly how I feel.
Unreal that it was 3 years that had gone by so quickly. But the year leading up to the Olympic Games is pretty important, obviously. So this competition is not only the qualification of the World Championship for these guys, but it really is the first step into making that Olympic team next year. So it really is a pretty important competition.
What is that qualification like for you? Because I know for the women it's a little bit different than for you guys. But so after these national championships, explain that process.
It's a little bit different actually even this year, because they'll be selecting the world team and the Pan American team after this weekend. And normally we have another kind of world camp and things like that a little bit after the competition. But the process is pretty in-depth, and we won't really know the Olympic team until about a month before we leave next July. So there are a lot of steps from now until then, but it is pretty in-depth, and these guys will have a lot before they actually be selected for the Olympics.
What do you think of that process? I mean, it's changed so much. I know my last Olympics, it was just the beginning of this more subjective selection process. And people may not know the story, but you were one of 3 alternates in 08. You're part of that team, but as the other 2 alternates got put on, you didn't get quite on that floor. And I imagine it's a tough thing to go through, but can you step back now and look at the whole process? And as an athlete, what is that like, and how do you feel about that situation?
The process is something that you really will never understand unless you go through it yourself. And I was kind of in an interesting spot last Olympics because I went through really 4 selection processes, which has never really happened before.
Excruciating, I'm sure.
It's really brutal. One is really tough to go through, but 4 is something that I really hope no one ever has to go through again. Because we had the Olympic trials, which the team was selected from there. And then we had a world camp, Olympic camp, which another 2 we were selected to go. The 3 alternates were selected. And then we had Paul and Morgan drop out, where the other 2 alternates were brought in. So through the process from Olympic trials to the Olympic Games, we have 4 selection processes. So it was pretty brutal. It was pretty much the highest of highs and then down the lowest of lows, kind of 4 times, really, peaks and valleys. And it takes a lot out of you mentally. It's a really draining process, but that's part of the game. You kind of go in understanding that's how it is.
Now being here at the Visa Championships again, and it being, I guess, exactly 4 years since you've won, but does it kind of make you want to be out there and compete, or are you good sitting back and watching?
I got out at a time when I was mentally and physically done. I have no regrets in how everything finished in the sport, so I'm really happy with where I am now. I miss the team camaraderie, I miss the guys the most, I miss traveling and really being a part of the team, but in terms of competition, the stuff that these guys are doing out there right now is frightening. There's no way I could compete with what Donnell was doing the other night. Oh my God, he's on another level right now, so I'm happy to be up in the stands right now.
You know, David, just going back to, you mentioned the emotion at the end of your career, and you wouldn't change, you're happy with how your career ended, but I know that team was tight, and you talk to anybody who's in the know of the sport, you're on that team as much as everybody else, but sitting in the stands when they won that bronze medal, that had to be a hard thing to go through.
You try to break back those emotions?
Sorry. I mean, I've been there in a way. It was hard for me too, I'll be honest with you, because that's something I always wanted, is to stand on that podium, and I've watched it for 2 Olympic Games now, so I felt those emotions. And what was it like for you to be up there?
It was just a culmination of so many different emotions at one point. I mean, clearly, I wasn't expecting for it to be broadcasted across the world, kind of that moment for me, but it was pretty difficult. It was because I wanted to be down there. I felt like I deserved to be down there. It was like my brothers that were feeling that moment, and I was like within reach of being part of it, and I felt such a connection to that team and such a big part of it that to not be down on the floor was really difficult. It was just to see how well they did that night, and to be up in the stands through the whole process was really hard, but at the same time I was so happy for kind of the culmination, to see how well they were able to put everything together where everyone was counting us out, not even thinking that we were going to finish in the top 8 and to really finish on bronze medal. It was just a culmination of a lot of emotions.
A little bit on a lighter note, I guess. Are you trying to, what's your future plans? Are you going to plan on living in Italy for a little bit longer?
Yeah, I did live in Rome for a year, and then I came back and been living in New York, and now back in Venice. So I'm going to be riding out this project until December, and then figuring out the next one after that.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hey, congratulations on a great career.
Thank you
for coming and joining us.
Of course,
good luck with Italy.
Thank you very much.
We are not done. Don't go away. We got much more from around the gym live here at the 2011 Visa Championships. Home of the Minnesota Wild, the Xcel Energy Center, as we prepare for night 2 of the men's all-around finals. We are at Around the Gym in the 2011 Visa National Gymnastics Championships, and we have somebody who is tied for the record for the most world medals by any American gymnast. She happens to be tied with the lovely lady sitting next to her, but Alicia Sacramone, let's just assume you make the World Championships here. You're going to break the record.
I never even thought about it, honestly. I kind of forgot.
Oh, come on, you've never thought about it.
Seriously, I forgot. There's a lot of other things going on in my life, John. I'm just kidding. I have thought about it, and it would be really sweet. I mean, it's an honor to hold that record with Nastia. I mean, maybe we can get you on the world's team, and we can just break it together and just keep moving.
Well, I think
hand in
Shannon Miller also is tied with you for world medals,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, right here on one couch,
I mean, that's big time.
18
Hey,
world medals.
between the 3 of us, we have a combined 18 world medals. I mean, that's impressive.
Very impressive.
It is. You contributed so much.
And it's so weird,
Just
That hurts,
be nice,
but it's
be
true.
sensitive. It's just weird to know that, our first World Championships were together in 2005, and just to see how far, Alicia has gone, it's such an inspiration. But it's just, going into last year, what were your goals going into the World Championships?
honestly, last year I had no expectations. I kind of wanted to see where this comeback was going to go and just kind of take it one step at a time. And then Worlds came and we were at vault finals, and I was like, oh, shoot, like, I could win a medal here. That'd be great. Like, I've been trying for this vault medal for like 6 years. So then just sitting there watching, because I had to go first, obviously, which stunk. So So it was a waiting game after that, and I was so happy that I won gold. I've been trying for that medal for a long time, so it was awesome. And team, we were so close to that gold medal, and silver's still great, so I was really pleased with this Worlds.
And I think even more than the vault, I think being able to make the beam finals and see your beam routine at beam finals and you hitting that routine and just like, it was like a huge sigh of relief after that. I mean, is that how you felt?
It was great. I mean, obviously the last time I had competed was the Olympics, and we all know how that routine just went.
Yeah, and I had to go right after you, by the way.
I'm so
No
sorry.
extra nerves or
I didn't
anything.
just bring the pressure on
pressure.
you. I was like, sorry, Nos, go get him.
So as far as the comeback is concerned, you know, it started a while ago, last year, a little over a year ago, and there's a lot of reasons people come back, but, you know, what was the big motivating factor for you? Was it what you just mentioned, you know, the team finals at the Olympics kind of, you said, I want my Olympic dream to end a different way, or was it something else that pushes you?
No, the Olympics in 08 definitely was my biggest motivating factor. Obviously, when, like I said before, when you picture your dreams coming true, like, you have Nastia's dream in your head, you're like, yes, this is perfect. Like, mine didn't really go that way, and I didn't want to end my career on that note. So I think that was the reason why I came back, and I just wanted a better showing and go out on my own terms.
Okay, and now, so it's a year later, it's another World Championships, and you're here at the Visa Championships, and this is number 9, is that right?
Yep, it's number 9, going for the
And you
decade
have-
next year.
Wow.
You have girls here that it's their first Visa Championships, and I mean, how old do you feel? I'm just kidding.
Honestly.
But I think it's just, you know, I think for me to be able to see that, it's so great to be able to see so many veterans out there. I think you're an inspiration to so many of the girls trying to make a comeback. And I mean, do the younger girls try and talk to you and get advice from you, or kind of what's your role?
You know, they do come to advise me, the ones that aren't afraid of me, of course. I don't know. They're like, you're just so scary. And I was like, why? They're like,
I mean,
don't-
I could see that. I totally see that.
I mean,
In the mornings.
if I'm not caffeinated,
Do
yeah.
not talk to Alicia in
scary,
the
it's
mornings.
true.
Having to room with her multiple times, don't talk to her.
Whatever, you went to bed really early, and that was like when I thrived at nighttime, and Nastia was like in bed, lights out, like telling me to go to sleep, and I was like,
More importantly, I know this gymnastics stuff is a big deal, but who is going to be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos? Is it going to be your boyfriend, Brady Quinn? And how's this training camp going?
training camp's going really well. They have a game Saturday night, so I'm kind of bummed I can't watch, but he's been doing really well, and the other 2 guys are doing good too, so we'll kind of see after preseason what's going to happen.
Pretty excited. Should I draft him on my fantasy team is really
For
all I
sure.
wanted. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, you definitely should
Can
do
I,
that.
can I blame you if he doesn't come through?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take blame for that.
So we're at the men's competition. Let's just shift gears here once again. What are your thoughts on tonight? Do you have a favorite?
I can't play favorites, but I do have a good feeling about John and Danelle. They are such strong competitors, and you know, I hope they really do well. I know John's kind of struggling with some injuries. He has to water down a little bit, but he's going to be great. He's such a fighter, and I know that when he wants to win too, so that's going to be motivating him real hard.
Well, good luck. You know, you have another big day of competition. I think you should throw the bars in there, just do the all-around, get it done.
Honestly, I thought about doing a kip when I touched the other day, but I figured somebody would get mad, so I was like, I'll just salute.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. We are not done. When we come back, we will have the introductions of the male athletes competing in today's all-around finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Xcel Energy Center and the 2011 Visa Championships. Tonight's men's competition will feature the best gymnasts in the nation, vying for a spot on the national team that'll represent the United States in international competition. Please join me in welcoming the gymnasts that have qualified for the men's final of the 2011 Visa Championships. Starting off on floor exercise for Universal, Edward Mesa. For Arik, Jacob Backstrup. For Universal, Max Mayer. For Team Hilton Honors Universal, Danielle Leyva. For Ohio State, Kai Ecker. Brandon Wynn. And Jeff Trelevin. Starting off on pommel horse, for Team Hilton Honors Cyprus, Jonathan Horton. For Cyprus Academy, R.J. Heflin. For Penn State, Parker Rocky. For Tim Daggett's, Jonathan Deaton. For South Coast, Timothy Wang. For Team Hilton Honors Cyprus, Chris Brooks. And for Cyprus Academy, Dylan Akers. Starting off on still rings for Cal Berkeley, Brian Del Castillo. For Houston, Cameron Deere. For Cal Berkeley, Kyle Buntuan. For Champions Academy, Sho Nakamori. For Cal Berkeley, Donovan Bailey. For U.S. Gym Center 2, Jesse Silverstein. And for Cal Berkeley, Glenn Ishino. Starting off on vault for Hocking Valley, Trevor Howard. From the University of Oklahoma, Jacob Dalton. For Indy School, Ellis Mannion. For the University of Oklahoma, Stephen Legendre. For St. Charles, Michael Strather. And from University of Oklahoma, Alexander Nador and Christopher Stell. Starting off on parallel bars, Team Hilton Honors Olympic Training Center, Andrew Elkine. From Illinois, Austin Phillips, Tyler Mizuguchi, and Paul Ruggieri. For Team Hilton Honors Olympic Training Center, Chris.
These are the athletes competing in tonight's men's all-around finals. When they are done, we will have more around the gym.
See you after the competition.